Welcome to Ciao Living Italian Style. I'm your host, Barbara Zippi, and we have a real special episode for you today because Count Sebastiano Capponi is visiting from the Tuscan region of Italy to talk about his wines and his vineyards and his groves and so many more things. And then his associate, Dave Dahme, is with us, Pio Imports, to tell us all about how you can find the Count's wines and the relationship between the U.S. and Italy, which is always so exciting. I had the opportunity to attend last year the 500th anniversary of Villa Calcinaia, and I'd like to introduce you to Count Sebastiano Capponi. Welcome.
Thank you, Barbara. Great to be here.
It's wonderful to have you back. And Dave, you know, we found, before you guys came into the studio today, we found the very first CD of when we did a show. It was back in 2015. So it was actually 10 years ago.
10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. How about that? And you have been so gracious to so many of our visitors that have come from the U.S. to your properties. And Dave, you're always so gracious in hosting wine dinners here for the Count. Where do those wine dinners occur, Dave?
Anywhere from country clubs to Italian restaurants to, we have done music fairs as well, I guess.
Chinese restaurants?
Chinese restaurants, Italian restaurants, country clubs.
And you do that multi-state, too.
For Pennsylvania and Delaware, we represent his brands, but he does dinners in New Jersey as well, in New York. And Tony, his other importer from Ohio, sets up other dinners.
Oh, yeah. All over the
So
States.
you are all over the States, Count? We're about, I mean, you just took the red eye in for today.
From Portland, Oregon.
And you have your wines distributed out on the West Coast as well?
Yes, California, Oregon, and Washington.
So when the United States is celebrating 250 years, you, through my prompting of asking Dave how I could get an invitation to your 500th celebration of the villa, not the wines, but the villa itself, and we came for an adventure. It was wonderful. How long did it take your staff to put that event together?
Well, a good 6 months. Yeah, it was a big thing for us because we don't usually do this. This was a special occasion, so it took a lot of effort to do it. A lot of effort. But it was we were very happy with the results. I hope you were too. I
was, and that leads us to this first picture on our first dinner. For the early birds that came into town. Now Dave came in a little late that night, but he still got there to taste the food. But this restaurant, your sister, Contessa, told me that this was her favorite, and this gentleman. What is he? He's
a sommelier at this restaurant in Lamole, which is a tiny, small hamlet in Chianti, very high up on a mountain. And this restaurant is called Ristoro di Lamole, and it's a wonderful restaurant. I really enjoy going there, and the view from there is spectacular. It's really spectacular. Not only the food and the wine list is great,
and
incredible.
And the drive up to get there, the food, the different selections of food that they did. Actually, they were very honored to do your 500th. How did you pick them?
Well, I wanted a place that was local, and I wanted a place that had good food, good wine, and as I say, beautiful setting. And that's Ristoro di Lamole kind of ticked all the boxes. And
it does that. Everything, all the different appetizers. Yeah. This was one rigatoni.
Yeah, this is one rigatoni. This is one of the specialty, one of the kind of house specialty, the rigatoni.
For our listeners or viewers, it's one rigatoni that stays kind of hard in the shell, and they stuff it, and it was what a magnificent idea. And then he's spectacular. What is his name?
He's a pro. Samuele. Samuele is his name. Okay. He's definitely a pro.
Well, he is definitely a pro. It was wonderful. That was the night before, and then the next day, Well, actually, these are your accommodations. Let's talk about your
Yes.
bed and breakfast. You're how many acres, or Americans are used to acres.
The estate
hectares.
is 450 acres. We have many cottages on the estate. Right now, we have renovated about 6 apartments on the estate. We have 3 apartments for 2 people, 1 apartment for 9 people, which is this one here, and 7 apartments, because we have a 3 for 2, 2 for 6, 1 for 8, and 1 for 9. This is the 1 for 9. This is a cottage.
And from the year when
This was built by my family in 1901. This cottage was built by my 1901.
And when we're talking about cottages, some of these houses were sharecroppers' homes that were
Yep.
on the property,
They were
right?
all sharecroppers' homes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all sharecroppers' homes. The oldest ones used to be guarding towers on the road that goes to Greve. And then, in the years, bits of houses been added on as, when the family expanded, when the sharecropping family expanded. So some of them are like 1,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet big.
And they're on the plan to be more
slowly
on the
but surely, slowly but surely.
Okay.
We have a part of the cottages that are still occupied by sharecroppers in a way, because the goat herders, they are tenants of ours, but
Yes.
they still they're not tourists. They work the land. So there's still some cottages we're dedicated to farming. Yeah.
And that land that we're looking out over are vineyards and olive groves,
Yes,
correct?
yes, that's the Valley of Greve that you see. Chianti, the region. When I talk about Chianti, I always talk about the region. When I talk about Chianti Classico, I talk about the wine made in this region. When I talk about Chianti wine, is the wine made outside the region. So Chianti, the region, is a beautiful land because it's not dominated by one culture. It's you have woodland represents 60% or 62% of the land. Only 38% is cultivated. Of that 38%, a third is olive groves, a third is vineyards, and a third is fields. So it's beautiful land because you have multiple sceneries and multiple. You don't have a dominated culture,
So you're
dominating
welcoming
culture.
in tourists
Yes,
then
we are.
to use your bed and
Yeah,
breakfast.
we're right in this spot. We're putting the pool for this cottage, so we're starting the
Oh,
work.
Dave, we have to go back again.
Well, if Simone joins us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now this is the person responsible for
Yes,
your...
she's the person in charge. That's my wife, Ginevra. She runs all the hospitality in Florence and in the countryside. And without her, it would not be possible to do it. I mean, she's a great interior decorator. She does even her own upholstery.
Yes, she does. We saw first evidence of that. She does beautiful work.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you about the bed and breakfast, when they can go to your website and
Yes.
find out all about that.
Yes.
How far out for a regular tourist is it from the center of Florence? Where
about
everybody's going to want to go.
35 minutes drive from the center of Florence. We do also have a palace in the center of Florence where we have about 9 apartments for Airbnb for tourists, so they can stay.
Oh, we don't have pictures of that, but that's on the Arno River.
Yeah, it's on the
correct?
Arno River. Yeah, you can either stay in the countryside or you can stay in the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
you get
that's-
best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds. Best of both. And so people that stay at your out in the countryside tend to need a car
Yes.
to go back and forth.
Yes.
And then the others could stay at the Palazzo
They don't need
at
a
the
car.
Arno.
Yeah.
So the Capponis could set you up any place.
Any place. Yep.
Now this was the big day.
That was a big day. Yeah.
Of the slideshow and the presentation, and I loved from the dinner from the night before that you always had 5 glasses in front of us to represent the 100 years of that. Who was in that room with us?
Oh, there were a lot of people from all different countries. The people came from Denmark, from Germany, from Austria, from the United States, from Canada. We had the mayor of Greve and Chianti joining us. So we had a lot of different. Some fellow producers came, and
You also had some major wine writers in the
yes, there
room.
was Monica Lana from Wine Advocate. There was Vinbladet director Peter Winding. There was some very important wine writers. There were some professors from the University of Florence. So there was a little kind of congregation of friends and that joined us for the 500 years.
Well, before we start talking about the food, you also had a slideshow that was very intense and excellent. Who created that for you?
Well, the slideshow show was created by me and my staff, and we had the three brothers talking. So my brother, my sister, and myself. And the tasting was conducted by Filippo Bartolotta, who's a very important Italian journalist and wine expert. So he kind of was the moderator, because you need, especially with certain members of my family, you need to cut short a bit of it sometimes, because they tend to drift off.
I can understand that. But you know what was also interesting, and Dave, I don't know if you appreciated it, but we each received earpieces to have translations into our own languages. And it made the experience so wonderful. How many places in the world get a chance to celebrate 500 years in such style? I get the chills still thinking about being there. Now, well, wines, of course, are amazing, but you have an amazing chef, and the food everything was prepared at Villa Calcinaia.
At Villa Calcinaia, yes.
Now we could go to some of these.
So this is the chef is called Beata. She's a great chef. She moved to Italy when she was 24 years old, but she comes from Poland, from Krakow, but she worked with very nice restaurants in Chianti. She was taught how to cook by Minuccio Cappelli, which was a very important chef in the area. So
there she is. There's Beata right there. Yeah, she had a busy few days, not one meal. She prepared numerous meals. If we could go see some of the grounds in the next pictures. This is the staff, all the people who work at Villa Calcinaia and Palazzo Capponi, because there are also the doormen from Palazzo Capponi. So without them, it would not have been possible. I mean, they're great. They allow me to travel. I would not be able to travel this much if I didn't have a team like that. It's amazing. Now, this is your sister.
This is my sister,
the
Tessa.
Entrance to the garden.
That's the entrance to the garden, yes. That's the entrance to the garden. My sister she moved to Poland in 1983. She comment went around the family, it must be love, because 1983 Poland was not an easy country to live in, so she's been in Poland for more than 40 years, and she was a food editor for Elle magazine in Poland. So she was a food journalist for many years, and she's a retired professor of university.
She was wonderful to get to know. The other thing is, even though she's in Poland, she seems to make her way to Villa Calcinaia through the years. Didn't you just host her daughter's wedding there?
Yes, and she has a role also in Chianti, because she's the president of the foundation of the Consorzio del Chianti Classico, which takes care of, right now his main job is to get the Chianti recognized as a UNESCO heritage site. So her main job right now is to reach this goal. And we're crossing fingers that she will make it.
And UNESCO, it's just a natural next step.
Yes, I mean, it's such a wonderful place that, it deserves that.
Now, this is in front of the main entrance.
This is her main entrance. The person with the pipe is my brother. He's an historian, and he wrote several books. You can find them, if you Google on Amazon, Niccolò Capponi, you'll find his books and translated in American. Some of them were written in English right away. So it's mainly history books. That's my sister and myself. So we have just finished doing renovation of the facade, because Calcinaia has also become a wedding venue. And so
Well, I know she said her daughter, right after...
Yes, my daughter had a son. Her son got married
in June.
In June last year.
Yes,
after the event. But also her daughter got married there, and the two daughters got married.
So now you mean other people can rent Villa Calcinaia for their weddings.
Correct.
And the rooms to stay in and everything else. And
exactly.
It is getting to be a big thing, destination weddings, and 500-year-old palazzo. And I don't want to miss acknowledging your mother, who is still in the Florence Palazzo, right?
Yes, she is. She's just turned 3 days, no, in September 15, 98. Yeah, she was turned 98 years old.
98 years old. And what do you remember best learning from her growing up?
Understatement. That is the rule.
Really?
Oh yeah, big time, big time. It's funny, you know. I understood that maybe I wasn't so bad at doing my job because when one year she tasted the Comitale, and she always been a very harsh critic. Comitale is a white wine that we have there, and she always been a very harsh critic of that wine. And she said something, you know, I have to specify that both my parents spoke the King's English. And my mother went some like, oh yeah, no, Sebastiano, the Comitale this is actually not too bad. So that not too bad
That's good.
made me understand that these last was doing something good, you know.
That was good.
So
that was good. So the matriarch is still around.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, I also got to meet one of your oldest distributors in the United States.
Both Dave and Tony Marchetti are my oldest distributor in the United States. They started before I started working on the States, so before my time. So
your father started the relationship.
Yeah, it's not my
them.
father, my brother. My brother actually found Tony in 1990 through the Chamber of Commerce, and he went to visit the winery when he was the person in charge. So yeah, it was my brother and my father at the time, and then I took over like 2-3 years later. Yeah.
And then the woman in the green is Tony's associate.
Exactly, Bridget.
Bridget,
yes,
right?
yes,
and
yes.
then Dave is
Dave, and then me.
And then you.
And then my brother.
And it's interesting because Tony's outreach for your Villa Calcinaia wines are in multi-states. Ohio.
More than 20 different states.
More than 20 different states in the United States.
Yeah.
And that's all happened since you came along with...
Well, he was an agent until from when we started working with him, and then he started an importing company in 2005 called Scoperta Importing. And he imports all our wines and the olive oil as well. He started bringing the olive oil as well.
Let's talk about your olive oil a little bit. I know we're partial to all your wines coming in, but your olive oil is very...
Yeah, the olive oil, it's a product I strongly believe in. I've been investing quite a bit in planting new olive groves. So I planted in 2020 1,000 plants, which is about 4 or 8 acres of olive groves, and I intend to plant another 1,000 plants. So I would like to get to a production that allows me to produce about maybe 5,000 bottles a year, which would be a good result.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. So you have olive oil, then you have wine that you actually ends up being vinegar that was there when we were there.
Yes, we have a very old mother, and according to my brother, the mother of the vinegar goes back to the late 1600s, so 1690 something. Yeah, it's distal. I saw it's in a very old terracotta kind of what do you call it, or jug.
Canteen.
Yeah, like a big round ones. What do you call them? Those? Well, they're like a big jug, you know, or terracotta, and it's distal. It's a really tall mother.
I remember growing
Probably
up.
has a life on its own.
I remember growing up, my grandfather making wine, and we would all, be pushing the handle. And when the wine didn't make it, we had vinegar. We never bought vinegar. No, we never bought vinegar in our house. There was always enough wine that didn't make it. But that was wonderful. Now, we also go to another continent. North America is the same continent, but another country.
Another country. This is Charlie and Nina Iacono. They're from Quebec. From Montreal, and
you got him started.
I got him started. Yes, I saw him once at Venice. They said, "Why don't you start an agency? Come and sell my wine. Come on!" And I convinced him, and that's how he started the agency. So.
And now he's one of the biggest importers.
Yeah, he's a very good agent in Quebec. He does a great job. He does a great job.
Yes, they were wonderful to be with. It was just a culmination of countries. It was like a summit, a United Nations summit. What other pictures do we have there? Of course.
Tony and Dave.
Tony and Dave, you're, anchors to the U.S., I would say.
Absolutely.
You know. So, Dave, when people want to buy Villa Calcinaia wines, the Capponi wines, state stores, private label, grocery stores today, Acme's and supermarkets are selling wines.
Today, it's the best way to go is to online through the PLCB, unfortunately, if I can say that, and we'll deliver it to that store for the person. Pennsylvania, I can't ship to their addresses. We have to go through the PLCB here in Pennsylvania. Or if you're in Delaware, we're in a lot of the border stores around Pennsylvania. We've done a lot of dinners in Greenville, Newcastle, Wilmington, down the beach area. So we have good distribution in Delaware. And if you ask for the Villa Calcinaia wines, we can get it to that store.
And New Jersey?
New Jersey is another importer, a friend of Sebastiano's. Okay. But if they go to his website or my website, they can get the names and see each product.
Good.
And then take a snapshot of it like everyone does now and go to the store and say, can you get these wines for me? And we can, either through Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, we'll get it to the stores for the consumer. We're more of a restaurant brand for Sebastiano's wines. So look for Villa Calcinaia or the Pagaya label on wine list and enjoy some of these fine wines.
Oh, that's a great idea. My favorite is your dessert wine.
Santo.
Excellent, excellent. That's a favorite of mine. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the Palazzo. This is out in the countryside.
Yeah, this is the villa. Yeah, this is the
villa, I'm sorry. And you're redoing...
Yeah, we've done all the facade. We've done all the facade. We've done. We've built in the back terrace, not that terrace, another terrace, a structure that allows us to host wedding even when it's raining. Because of course, when the wedding venue will be, of course, in the front lawn. But in case it rains, we have a plan B.
Right.
And we can host. So it's basically the structure is above. You see where above there is a terrace. Mm-hmm. So above there is the structure. So it kind of hosts probably 150 and 180 people. So
nice crowd. That's a nice crowd. That's great. And then these were the tents that were set up. We went out to the yard to eat.
Yeah. So if it's sunny,
yard. That's not a yard.
If it's sunny, the people will have their venue on the front lawns, but then you need always a backup plan.
Yes, it was.
And the other element, those two front lawns are very important for us because they are a source of power. Because inside those, underneath those lawns, there is 10 wells, geothermal wells that produce all the heating and the cooling for the main building. So we drilled down to 100 meters deep, so more than 100 yards deep.
That's real. I mean, you have to think they needed to heat that place years before the inventions that we have today. Yeah. This, I just love the entrance to the garden. Yeah, this is the garden.
This is the overhanging garden.
Yes.
And then at the bottom, you see, the bottom of the picture, you see the lemon house.
Yes. We when I came home, I showed some video footage of your sister talking about the gardens in one of the prior shows. You could check Ciao, Bella Living Italian Style, one of our other episodes. And also you can Google information, Count Sebastiano Capponi for the Italian American Herald. There's some numerous articles there and in other publications that have appeared in the United States. What other pictures do we have here to showcase today? We have to talk about this.
This is for the event. We record some of the old vintages. So for the event, we record 1968, 1969, and 1975.
Okay, now that means that you found bottles 1968, 1969.
Yeah.
And they were old, and they had an old way of being corked, and you actually. Why would you do that? Isn't it dangerous to open the wine?
Well, to leave it like that is dangerous. So what you do in that way, you preserve the wine for much longer because you pull the old cork out, you refill, you sacrifice certain number of bottles because you use the same wine to refill. So you bring the ullage up to the where the capsule is, basically.
Okay.
And then you recork it, and so that way the wine and you will last much longer than if it had been left in that situation.
Is that one of the oldest wines we tasted during the 500?
Yes, you tasted this. I believe we poured you the 69,
Yes.
1969.
Yes.
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 The oldest vintage in the cellar is 1870, but there's only one bottle. We don't know. We can't record that. Because
One bottle. Wow.
and
wow.
and then the oldest appellation wine in the cellar is 1921, because the appellation, which was created in 1716, but the consortium was founded only in 1924.
Okay, now you're using a combination of the old and the new,
Yes,
right?
we also use wood, cement, ceramic, that's Cliver, stainless steel. But for the aging, it's mostly wood and cement.
It's still the old way.
Yeah, still the old
It's
way.
still the way. What I thought, and when we
This
on
is
the
the
left,
reason. This is the area where we receive the grapes. So this is where primary fermentation happens. But then after primary fermentation is finished, all the wine is brought inside. So these tanks are for most of the empty.
okay, and then there's the vintage ones. Those are the new ones.
These are the new ones.
And then
From stainless steel,
there.
and these are
So
the cement tanks. Yeah.
that's what they are, cement tanks.
Cement
And
tanks.
you still have them
Yeah.
used?
Yeah. Temperature
It's
controlled.
not just the facade.
No, it's temperature controlled. You can, they're modern.
So what year do they date back to?
Those are 1930s. Those are 1930s.
1930. I mean, it's amazing that the old is right next to the new, still producing and, still producing the quality that you are known for. Dave, that's the other thing. The ranking of the Count's wines among the industry is very high.
Yes, there's a lot of Chianti Classico producers, but Villa Calcinaia is up there, I would say, in the top 10, at least, in name recognition. Chianti is the number one tourist area for everyone. No one goes to Piedmont, but they all go to Tuscany. Everyone goes to Tuscany. And if they truly want a good visit, they go to Grave, Chianti Classico region.
So in my novice, and many Americans' novice, Tuscany is a region. But Florence is in Tuscany. Greve is in Tuscany. So it's the Tuscan region, but we're focusing on Greve and the areas right outside of Florence.
Yeah, it's a small area between Florence and Siena. So Chianti is really tiny. It's from the maximum length is 41 kilometers. The maximum width is 27 kilometers. So we're looking at a very tiny place.
So everybody knows everybody.
Kind
Let's see what else we have here. I have to thank my cousin Simona Nobilio from Loreto Apertino in Abruzzo, who hosts me there during the winters, and she had me navigate the train system for the first time. I never took trains throughout Italy, so that was an experience. Dave, you got stuck on a train.
Yes, I did. You got to watch out for your train strikes.
You do. And then this is a close-up of Nicola and Tessa and Sebastiano. What else do we have here?
This is the room where we age the Vinsanto. So Vinsanto, we hang the grapes from the ceiling, and we let them hang until they reach a certain concentration of sugar. Then we press them, and we put them in small barrels like these for 10 years.
And that's the dessert wine.
Yes.
Yes. And when I first visited, like over 10 years ago, you didn't have a tasting room at that time. And so the villa has just blossomed into this not only family place, but tourist attraction, tasting rooms, now weddings and hospitality. I mean, you could say, yes, Villa Calcinaia is wine, but you're so much more.
Yeah.
You're so much more, which leads me to the next generation. We have that shot coming up. So tell me about the next generation carrying this on, because we are all getting older and have to pass that. Your sons?
Yeah, from left to right, Buonamico, then myself, Neri, and Ferrante.
And their specialties within the estate, because they have their own.
Oh yeah, Buonamico is studying taking his second master in archivistic, studying in biblioteconomy. We have a big archive in Florence. The film Hannibal was shot in the archive, so Hannibal Lecter was a family curator in the book, and then he became the family curator in the film Hannibal. So he's going to be replacing Hannibal Lecter. Hopefully not in a gory way.
Okay.
Yeah.
My third son, Neri, which is the one next to me on the left, is working on his estate. He's also starting to travel with me. We're going to Florida to work the market in November. So he's involved now in hospitality, and he likes sales. He really likes sales. He had 1 year and a half in New York, and so he had a very good school because he was trying to sell Italian wines to old establishment in New York, Italo-American. It was 21 looking 19, so good luck with that.
Especially in New York.
Especially in New York.
Yes. And the last one on the right.
And the last one on the right, Ferrante, he's a trader. He's a goldsmith. So he wants to put up a business with his girlfriend, and who's also a goldsmith. And right now he's helping his mother in all the short rental. So
okay, and that's your wife joining you with the boys.
That's my wife joining with the boys.
Of course, all the young ladies, that are young single ladies out there, are going to ask which counts in that picture are spoken for yet. Have they, maybe a couple have some openings.
Well, yeah, a couple have some openings. Yeah, the only one will be Ferrante. Ferrante already moved in with his girlfriend, so hopefully.
Okay, so he might be off the books, girls, but the other two, who knows? That was such a wonderful experience to see how old our roots really are. United States is a baby. We're celebrating 250 years. His one estate is 500 years old compared to centuries old of the country itself. My love of Italy is just overwhelming, and that secured it. I still love my Abruzzo, as you should, and as I should. And we still have an olive that only grows in Abruzzo for olive oil. I followed one of our local farmers there, and I'm hoping that to see more interaction between the United States and Italy, because I think it's just so important a culture. Before we go, what do you want to partake about or tell our listeners about Villa Calcinaia and the hospitality that your staff can provide for them?
I say come and visit. I think Chianti is one of the most beautiful places on earth. I mean, it's really an incredible place. And I think that Calcinaia has not lost its soul, in the sense that it's still a farm. Anyway, that's the beauty about it. It's not a resort. It's still a farm.
You're right. It has not lost its soul.
Yeah.
And Dave, how did you feel about your experience there?
I think the whole thing was very well done, presentation-wise. Really enjoyed the history of it. 500 years, as you said, we're a baby here celebrating 250 next year. I had two wonderful roommates at one of the piazzas.
A little bit of cold water there for a little bit till we got you settled in a warm shower.
Yeah, we won't forget that for a while. But yes, it's as you said, it hasn't lost its soul. It is very down to earth. If you want to experience Italy, I think you live there for a couple days and you get a feel for it.
Yes, absolutely.
The food, the hospitality, the people, the beauty, the rolling hills of Tuscany. You really enjoy it.
Yes. So for our listeners out there, I want to thank you so much for catching that red eye and doing this show today. It's really important to show our Americans where they can go and how personal it is. You're not visiting a hotel where you don't know the people. Exactly. You're visiting a home, estate that happens to be a villa. And only in the last 10 years, really open to tourism.
Yeah.
So even though Tuscany is one of the oldest regions in Italy that is promoting tourism more than the southern region, there's still these little niches, and that's what Villa Calcinaia is. And I'd like to thank you for joining me today, and hope that one of your next adventures is in the homeland of Italy. Ciao for now. Ciao, Bella.